I promised that I would tell you an Obama story. And this one, I actually found it, uh, the text of it. This is from a press lunch. And this is just an example of how not to tell a story. I'm going to read the whole thing for you because I think it's funny. So Obama says, a dog walks into a bar and orders a beer. I don't remember what kind of dog it was. Maybe it was a Portuguese water dog, like our dog Bo. Well, it doesn't have to be. It could be a collie or a German shepherd or even a greyhound. Anybody here have a greyhound? No? Well, okay, it's not really important to the story. Anyway, the dog orders a beer, and the man on the next stool says, I don't want to drink in a place that serves dogs. And you can't blame him, am I right? Unless it's a seeing eye dog or some other type of service animal. And, most states have pretty strict health regulations, and for good reason, I might add. Take it from me, dogs are not the most sanitary animals. Even so, the dog takes offense, and they get into a fight. The man pulls a gun and shoots the dog in the foot. This was probably Virginia, where they let you take a gun into a bar instead of keeping it safe in your trunk. Anyway, the dog runs off. So the next week, the dog goes back into the bar again. And this time he's wearing a black hat, a black vest, black boots, and a pair of Colt 45s. The dog goes up to the bartender and he says, I'm looking for the man who shot me in the left forefoot. No, wait, that's not it. How does it go again? Now, that's an example of how not to tell a story. Okay, it happens to all of us. We are going to tell a joke and we forget the punchline. And frankly, he did what you're supposed to do, which is move on. But, I don't even have to explain that when you're creating an image, and we're talking about specificity, remember? When you're creating an image, you need to create one image. It doesn't matter if it's a greyhound or a border collie or a Portuguese water dog, but just give them one. Because here's what happens. I actually have a story I tell about my greyhound. And the thing is that I tell the story about the greyhound. And it's real specific about when I brought the greyhound, I adopted him from the track, and when he came home, he didn't really know how to be a pet. He'd never seen a bone before. I'll tell you that story later. Anyway, when I tell that story, people see in their mind a dog. Now, most of them, what I do is ask, so what color is Larry? And there are a lot of people say gray, but there are people who say black or brown. Actually, Larry was black. And there's even people who say Larry was a golden retriever because that's what came up in their head. The beauty of storytelling and being specific is not that you are forcing someone to come to your picture. There's just this magic that happens that when you're specific about a detail, their brain gets specific, but it comes from the theater of their mind, and their past experiences will provide images that fill out the story for them. So learn from Obama. If you're telling a joke or you're telling a story, just stick with one specific and don't give a whole range. It's nice if you are talking about many opinions, but if you're telling a joke about a dog, you need to have the same dog throughout the whole joke. And when you tell a story, you need to be specific and you need to stick with the specifics that you give them. So I hope that helps your storytelling. I'll think of something else to tell you next. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you where I am. I'm at my friend's house who lives in Raleigh. I used to live in North Carolina, and so after the gig I had, here visiting my friends Sherry and Brandy. And yes, their dad. No, I shouldn't talk about that, but Sherry and Brandy. Anyway, we've known each other since I was 18 years old, and so this is their house. And the next one I do for you will probably be from my house. Hope you're having fun.